Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason from Dropshipping University. I hope you're all staying safe out there. Today's lesson, I have a treat for you. We're going to be dissecting the differences between wholesale dropshipping and retail dropshipping. It's one of the most frequently asked questions that I get every single day. I get questions like, how much cash is it going to cost me to get up and running with wholesale dropshipping? What are the major differences? What are the pros and cons? And we're going to get all into that. I have a whole PowerPoint presentation set up for you guys, so make sure you watch through this entire video. Also, down in the description below, you will find my new Instagram channel. I am now on Instagram. I upload a ton of great new content that's exclusive to Instagram every single day, so make sure to follow my profile. With that said, let's jump right into this. We're going to be talking about all of the differences from wholesale dropshipping to retail dropshipping and how you can actionably get started with wholesale dropshipping on eBay in 2020. All right, everyone. So I'm inside my computer right here. I'm going to take out my little pointer to go along with you. And as I said before, we're going to be talking about, from a high level overview, what is wholesale dropshipping and what are the major differences between wholesale dropshipping and online retail arbitrage. And you're going to hear me say whole shipping throughout this, and that's just a short way to say wholesale dropshipping. Some of you guys may have heard me say that before. So one of the first things that I want to just get out of the way is wholesale dropshipping is just a form of fulfillment, and that's dropshipping at large. Dropshipping is merely a way of getting the product from a certain place to the end consumer. So from point A to point B. You might hear dropshipping thrown around a lot and it sounds a little complicated, but it's really simple. It's just a fulfillment type. So wholesale dropshipping is leveraging fulfillment services from a third party while purchasing at wholesale pricing. So regular traditional retail arbitrage, where you're reselling products from Amazon onto eBay, for example, that is going to be you leveraging Amazon's fulfillment centers to be sending the products to the end consumer. Whereas with wholesale dropshipping, we're either utilizing a manufacturer to send the product directly to the consumer, or we're using an intermediary like a wholesale distributor to send the product to the end customer. All we're doing is acting as the middleman, getting those sales on eBay's website, and then passing that off to our supplier. Now, one of the key important pieces here is this underlined portion right here where it says wholesale pricing. Wholesale pricing is much different than traditional retail pricing, and anybody who's buying products from Sears, Kmart, Amazon, Walmart, they are buying products at a retail price. Usually it's the MSRP, or manufactured suggested retail price. That is going to be the price that everybody in the general population will pay. But since we are acting as retailers, we're supposed to be able to buy these products for the purpose of resale, and that unlocks some doors for us where we can get wholesale applications, and once we get approved from a wholesale distributor or manufacturer to resell their products, we can actually get wholesale pricing. Now, we're going to go more in depth on wholesale pricing in a little bit, but just to let you know, wholesale pricing is much different than retail pricing, and that's probably the biggest distinguishing factor of wholesale dropshipping. So goods can be purchased directly from the manufacturer or the wholesale distributor, as I said earlier, but generally speaking, we're going to be buying products from wholesale distributors, and these are hopefully going to be US based wholesale distributors. I have worked with Canadian wholesale distributors, and I've done certain international wholesale deals, but all in all, we want to focus on the wholesale distributors or manufacturers that are based in the United States. It just makes our life a lot easier if we're selling on eBay's platform, because we want to make sure that our customers get their products as fast as possible, and it'll also cut down on our pricing. So this is a model of a traditional supply chain, and without getting too involved in logistics and supply chain, I'm just going to simplify this as much as possible for you guys. So as I said earlier, there's a manufacturer. A manufacturer is somebody that produces goods. So they could take raw materials and combine those raw materials into something that is now consumable. And that's what the manufacturer's job is. And they are the primary resource in stage one. There's two stages of a traditional supply chain as colored in here. And then once the manufacturer produces those goods, usually they have very large scale operations with robots and expensive equipment to make these products at scale. Once they do that, they turn it over to what are known as wholesale distributors. And these wholesale distributors act as an intermediary to get those products from the manufacturer off to the market. That's what their specialty is, and they have huge buying power. Generally speaking, these wholesale distributors have tons of money where they can buy products in bulk, and they save a ton of money passing it on to retail companies like myself, and that's where we end up getting products for much cheaper than if we were to just buy them at retail price ourselves. So real quickly, a wholesale distributor is just a company that handles the shipments from the manufacturer, and it's also important to note that they can actually get the product directly to consumers, and we're seeing that more and more as time goes on, and the internet is becoming readily available and people are understanding how to do marketing and getting the products to the end consumer. These wholesale distributors also have the option to sell directly on marketplaces or on their own website with a retail arm. It might be even under a different name. However, these companies have that option too, but the traditional way of doing business was it would go from manufacturer to wholesale distributor, then to a retailer, and then to the end consumer. Really straightforward, really linear in that way. Now, obviously, with the advent of the internet, everything has changed in this way. However, most wholesale distributors still have a wholesale arm where we can buy their products, and that's where we're trying to get right here as a reseller. And that's us. We're trying to get in there. We're trying to buy those products at a wholesale price and then sell it to the end consumer. Our specialty should be making beautiful listings, understanding how to market consumer products, and really doing the best we can to be priced competitively. And that's where we're adding value, and we can even do other added value techniques like bundle offering and bundle pairing, but that is outside the scope of this. And then obviously an end consumer is any shopper on eBay or Amazon or even on your own website, but these are going to be the people that you are going to be making the money off from the purchase, and then you're going to pretty much take that money, buy their product from the wholesale distributor or the manufacturer, whoever you choose to work with, and then you get the product to the end customer. You take what's in the middle, and that's your profit margin, and everybody's happy. It's a pretty standard operation of how things work. So here's another graphic of how this supply chain works, and it's more focused on order fulfillment. This is order fulfillment in a nutshell. So as a product comes into the United States, let's say the wholesale supplier imports it, they're going to receive the product, and then they have to sort, shelve. They're going to have warehouses. They have a lot of overhead, right? These companies have warehouses, they have employees, and these people are going to be responsible for also picking, packing, and sending the product off to the end customer. All we are doing, we are right here where the order is placed. All we're doing is capturing that sale and then moving, basically just forwarding over the customer's information to the wholesale supplier, and then they're picking, packing, and shipping it directly to the customer. We take what's in the middle. Hopefully that clears up how wholesale dropshipping works. We're going to move on now to talking about the differences between wholesale shipping and retail dropshipping or online arbitrage. And I made you guys a little graphic right here, a little table, so you can kind of understand visually the differences between the two models. And the two models, while they are similar in that we're using a third party to ship out the products for us, there's also some big differences, and that's what we're going to go over. So the third party fulfillment is the same across the board. Neither of us are going to hold inventory, and if any of you guys have background in doing online retail dropshipping, you understand how the basics work. So it's pretty much the same in that respect. Neither of us have to pay for the goods up front, so we're always going to be cash flow positive, which is awesome if you are an online business and you don't have a lot of money, especially if you're a beginner. You don't have the type of capital to invest up front. A lot of other online businesses don't have that luxury. A lot of businesses don't have that luxury at large. So the second point here is that purchasing products at wholesale pricing, and that's a huge difference. As I said earlier in this episode, online retail dropshippers do not get to buy products at wholesale pricing. Now, some companies do offer bulk ordering. So if you're familiar with buying on Home Depot, sometimes you can actually get better rates if you buy in bulk. Sometimes with other more obscure retail suppliers, if you add 5 or more units to a cart, you can actually save money. But all in all, you're not going to be saving money like if you were to buy at wholesale pricing. Now, the general rule of thumb with wholesale pricing is that you're going to have 50% off. So if a product has an MSRP at $100, you would typically be able to buy that from the wholesale distributor for $50, and that leaves a lot of extra room to make profit margin. And that's one of the best parts of wholesale dropshipping, is we have a lot of room to make money with this model. Whereas with a lot of retail dropshipping, you have very thin margins, and you're relying, unfortunately, a lot of times you're relying on cashback websites and cashback credit cards, and your margins are razor thin. So if you mess up, typically it can really hurt your bottom line. With this, we don't have to worry as much. The third point here, which is probably the most important point, is that whole shipping complies directly with eBay's terms of service, and that's in regards to eBay's dropshipping policy, which actually was recently updated in the beginning of 2019. And this serves, I'm actually going to pull it up for you guys so you guys can go along with me. This dropshipping policy explicitly states that wholesale suppliers are okay to use. I'll read it verbatim. Dropshipping where you fill orders directly from a wholesale supplier is allowed on eBay. So they're coming out and saying that no problems with using a wholesale supplier to dropship your products onto eBay. However, they do go on to talk about listing products from a marketplace or another retailer. So they say listing an item on eBay and then purchasing the item from another retailer or marketplace that ships directly to your customer is not allowed on eBay. Activity that doesn't follow eBay policy could result in a range of actions, including but not limited to administratively ending or canceling listings, hiding or demoting all listings from search results, lowering seller ratings. So that would be if you were a top rated seller, they could strip your top rated seller status that you worked so hard to get, buying or selling restrictions, loss of buyer or seller protections, and even account suspension. So those are obviously all very bad things that we want to avoid at all costs. And why would you take the path where they're explicitly saying do not do this because it does not comply with our dropshipping policy, where you have the option to comply with their policy and even make more money doing it? To me, it's a no-brainer, and that's what I go on to talk about right here. Is eBay can suppress listings, aka flagging or throttling, some people call it, suspending your account. You might get an MC011, which is another commonly referred to code if you get your account suspended, and there's other things that they can do to your account. So those are all things that we obviously want to avoid, and it's just icing on the cake that wholesale dropshipping is actually a much better model, much more sustainable, much more profitable. So in summary, wholesale dropshipping is the best of both worlds. We never have to handle the product, and that's the same for retail dropshipping, but the major difference is that we can get these products at wholesale pricing and we're in compliance with eBay's dropshipping policy. And lastly, you don't need any upfront cash. If you guys are just beginning and you don't have a lot of capital to invest, I completely understand. Everybody has to start somewhere, and this is a great way to get into a legitimate business, make a lot of money, and you're not going to have to worry about holding inventory, all that overhead, having storage space or a garage, and dealing with the order fulfillment on a day-to-day basis. So that's the major differences between wholesale dropshipping, retail dropshipping, and some of those are the pros and the advantages of wholesale dropshipping. All right, so there you have it. Those are the major differences between wholesale dropshipping and retail dropshipping. I talked in depth about eBay's dropshipping policy and how wholesale dropshipping is the only form of dropshipping which is in compliance with eBay's dropshipping policy. So if you're still doing retail dropshipping in 2020, just know you are at risk of getting an account throttle, getting an MC011, and a suspension because you are not following their protocols. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This is another reason why I want more people to start transitioning into wholesale dropshipping, because you can assure yourself that you will not get in trouble because you're not breaking any dropshipping policy rules. Okay, and the other part where I talked about wholesale versus retail in terms of the actual purchasing power, what you can do with wholesale dropshipping is you get business exclusive pricing, whereas with retail dropshipping you are getting pricing that any customer could get out there in the general public. So those are the major differences. Keep those things in mind, and I encourage everybody to make that transition as soon as possible because the pros far outweigh the cons with wholesale dropshipping. So if you guys enjoyed this content, again, make sure to smash that like button. Also subscribe to this channel, hit the little little bell notification. That way you get notified every time I put out content like this. And remember, down in the description, I have my new Instagram down there, so check that out. I put up a bunch of exclusive new content daily. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.